Michael Delanderville. Brian Wayne Easton. Gene Andrew Easton. Michael Anderson Eckert Jr. David Ehrlich. Coco Lee Elwood.
Darren L. Cheryl Ann Clavel. Tannis Barbara Hitler. Dean Andrew Fisher. Anita Evelyn Fredericks. Vera Ellen Fredericks. Eli David Fricker. Kevin James Gardner. Jim Johnny Scott. Adrian Eleanor Gier. Dennis John Sutton Getty. Linda Gail Giles.
Fred Jonathan Gordon. Grad. Dean Robert Hamilton. David Brian Harvey. Douglas Hay. Desmond Robert Hazard. Martin Graham Healy. Matthew Hearn. Richard George Hills. Kelvin Hillis. Jackson. Sidney Brooke Miles. John Warren Higgins. David Irving. Danielle Ruth Jackson.
Men's basketball player, manager, student council president this year. John has also shared an award with an RCMP Leadership Award, just the community. And I've been very closely associated with John's council this year, and I know that his ability to get things done is very impressive. Mostly because he's in there doing it already. People just naturally step into his space. He gives them a big contribution. John, thank you for your enormous contribution to your student body this year and to myself. Thank you.
For the final two awards, let me now call upon the principal, Mr. Tom Brown. Corporal Elvis and Captain Park. The students who have been recognized so far were unable to attend the graduation or the award ceremony because of their involvement with history. These students were not ready for history but could not attend for other unavoidable reasons. Each of these students is being recognized as an outstanding student in combined academics and combining expertise and achievements in sciences as well as humanities. It's unique for a student to be able to achieve highly in both areas. Like as students progress through the grades, they can specialize in one or the other. Each of these students has excelled in both areas. Corporal Elvis, in addition to combined academics 12, is also on the honor roll for humanities and science. And Duncan, in addition to his combined academics award, is on the honor roll for humanities and science, and was also in the top 3 on the Canadian Mathematics League. Congratulations.
Graduating class has been one of very good times. It has been said that this particular class needed a crowbar to pry it apart. There are very many very capable candidates this year for the valedictory stage. However, it is my honor to relinquish center stage to our this year's valedictorians, Sidney and Todd Hudson.
Good afternoon. It is a great honor to speak to you today on behalf of the graduating class of 1986.
Bonjour, mesdames et messieurs. Nous sommes très contents de vous parler aujourd'hui pour tous ceux qui ont fini leurs études cette année 1980.
When we prepared for that,
one of the most difficult aspects was to express our emotion to our teachers, our fellow students, and especially our parents.
who have sacrificed so much so that we could learn and grow.
Quand nous avons écrit ces paroles, un des aspects les plus difficiles était d'exprimer notre gratitude à nos professeurs, nos copains et à nos familles qui ont contribué beaucoup à notre éducation et à notre vie. In contemplating a theme for the valedictory address, we were eager to present speeches that would be appropriate both to the essence of the word valedictory and the character of our graduating class. The dictionary defines the valedictory as a bidding farewell, and we will accomplish this through reflections on the past, the present, and our hopes for the future.
En écrivant ce discours, nous voulions présenter des mots qui démontrent d'une manière juste la qualité de notre classe. Permettez-moi de vous donner des exemples. La plume de ma tante est sur la table. Quel est le worksheet que je vous ai donné hier? Et bon, vous venez. Où est la salle de bain? Et j'ai perdu mes traverse checks.
We have a very beautiful school. Todd and I might have been speaking in a 6-story, 100-year-old characterless city school, surrounded by smog and cold cement, instead of our green fields and our courtyard. Although we have a beautiful environment, perhaps the warmest, most special touch given to Parkland is its staff and teachers. These individuals lend to the character of the school. Unfortunately, their efforts often go unnoticed or are taken for granted. We thank you for your time and devotion.
I'm really grateful for the teachers that I've had. We've given them a lot of challenges and a lot of headaches. But despite this, their special character and the perseverance have helped to shape us into the people who we are today. I'll never forget the extra hours of time in sports, clubs, and scholarship meetings that our teachers have given us. It's really special to me that they have not simply been excellent educators, they have also been good friends.
When it comes to thanking your family, where can you possibly begin? And even worse, where can you even hope to end? My parents have tried to give me as many opportunities to explore my interests and my abilities. There were times when I thought you might be pushing me too hard, but now I realize that had you not, I would never try to be the best that I could possibly achieve. We hope to live up to your expectations. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for your words of wisdom, open-mindedness, trust, and love. There are also those other individuals who hold a very special place in our hearts, as they are close enough to family as can possibly be. When I was in elementary school, I often showed my affection towards drawings. For some reason, as we embark into teenagehood, it becomes harder to express ourselves. So I shall simply say, I love you.
In many ways, I am unworthy of all the love and attention I receive from my family. My brothers, Mark and Dean, have played a greater role in my life than I think you'll ever know. It's always been my goal to act in a way that would make them proud of me. They have both sacrificed to be here today, and I want them to know how much I love them and always want us to be close as a family. This is a special year in my family, and that my mother is also graduating from the University of Victoria. Incidentally, she was valedictorian of her high school class, and like all graduates,
I hope that I can follow in my parents' footsteps. I think it would be great if we graduate carefully set our priorities and make sure that we include as most important strong family bond. I want you all to know that I believe in families. They're absolutely necessary. And when the times get tough, going together as a family makes things go on.
It doesn't seem that long ago when the time when we first assembled on the front door of the park on the first day of school. To the present, a mere 4 years later, saying farewell not only to the space itself, but a valued part of our youth. To many grads, myself included, this is the first time in our lives that we have truly grasped the actual sense, the actual value of time. Throughout the school year, a favorite pastime among grads has been reminiscing about the past and in remarking on the changes that have taken place both within ourselves and within others. Let us go back in time to those memorable days of grade 9. The more I think of it, the more I feel we all must have looked the same. Well, similar. Let's face it, you all had a pair of jeans and a shirt that you thought looked pretty high schoolers. So you wore the same outfit, day after day after day. And let's not forget the matching Adidas bag to complete the total grade 9 look. But today, wearing matching caps and gowns, we are united as a graduating class of 1986. But looking at each face, one sees a special individual developing into a person, all of his and her own. I am proud to be a member of this graduating class. I've noticed changes in students' personal style, peer groups, and interests, but not necessarily in a negative aspect. The nice thing about Parkland is that it's small enough to know everybody, but everybody is not the same. In other words, there is a place for each person.
As Delkin said, two of the great things about attending high school are the general feelings of unity which develop between the students and the teachers, and also the friendships which develop. We see a lot of this in our school, and this year I was in a particularly good position to view some of this. About 2 months ago, we decided to break the world record, the teacher said, for the world's largest bowl of strawberries. 860 pounds of berries in one container. This was done to get our school into the Guinness Book of World Records and to make money for graduation courses. We not only broke the world record, but we also had a week of fun activities to make money for the grad. The months preceding the strawberry week were full of excitement for myself, Mr. Giles, and many of the students who were directly involved in planning. I must admit that up until the final week, we weren't really sure if the whole idea of strawberry week was going to catch on to the graduating body as a whole. Boy, did that ever change. Only a few days left until the world record was scheduled to be broken. I saw some real leaders emerge from this group of students. Some spent 6 hours a day working on their individual committees. I remember the Thursday night before the strawberry week. Normally the school is closed void of any students, but not on this night. Entering through the doors by the teacher's parking lot, I happened to see Frank Parkland working on the strawberry bowl, and he worked till quite late that night. Walking down the hall towards the gym, I passed by the art room and saw Doreen Bicknell and Mike Healy working on large posters to go over the bowl. It was really neat. And then I happened to hear the printing press running, and I went into the graphics room, and Jackie Still was working on tickets to be sold. I continued down the gym, out into the multi-purpose room, and there were 6 4x8 pieces of plywood being made into billboards by Jane Wong and Gina Cadet. While just outside in the main hall, Rob Stevenson, Jim Gass, and Rachel and Stephanie Galactica were making air guns. The entire school was full of students. Yet as far as I could see, none of them were aware of the others present. They all worked independently. Now some of the students were students' council members and grad committee members, but even more exciting to me were those who had not previously participated in student activities but decided to go for it.
Once we know we can do it again and again and again. Bruce Springsteen once said that his heroes were people who made the world turn. To me, that says people who do not just sit there and wait for things to happen, but people who really make it happen. People who do not sit back and blame their circumstances, their situation, other people for what's going on. There is a lot of power and a lot of value in not blaming. You can then alter the course of your own life, rather than waiting for someone or something to charge your course. I challenge you to be your own hero. Make your world turn. Today, graduation is a milestone, a turning point in your life, a completion of a vision held for 12 years. Congratulations, you were able to get what you wanted, even in the face of seemingly unsurmountable challenges. You are all achievers, as demonstrated in you being here today. Don't stop now. Move forward with another vision in mind. Commit to it. Do what it takes to move through all those considerations. Go for it. Some of you might be uncertain about what you want to do. In your confusion, I encourage you, relax. Be gentle with yourself. Look inward to your strengths and your abilities and your dreams. Be aware that a lot of those reasons in circumstances, ones that tell you that you shouldn't or that you can't. And remember that a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. When you feel it is impossible, you are always able to put one foot in front of the other. Very inspirational movie that I saw last year had a song in it. I want to read you the quote from that song. To me, it protects the cow. It's really important to realize it's not a dry run. It's not a practice life. This. We only get one chance, but nothing ties our hands. This is what I want. Listen to me. Nothing I want is out of my reach. Running away will never make me free, and nothing inside is any guarantee. I'm shaping my path, making my grade, taking control, if that's what it takes. The journey towards full expression about who you are, what you are, and where you're going is lifelong. The challenges are many and ongoing. It requires a willingness to be gentle and yet honest with yourself, accepting and yet determined, committed despite seeming obstacles. If you take anything away from today, I hope it's this. You do make a difference. You have the ability to meet your challenges facing forward. You can move beyond all those reasons to get what you want. And you can live your dreams if you choose to do so. Since the journey never ends, why not make it the most fulfilling, exciting experience possible? You are able, and you're worth it. Driven by a belief in yourself, your ideals fueled by your independence of thought and action, your possibilities are limitless. Thank you.
And now, in response to Ms. Valedictory is John McFly, this year's Student Council President. So, as it were, here's John.
So, thank you for your words of encouragement. I'm sure we all use as we head into the future. I'm sure we can benefit from all in various ways. Our times will not be easy, and we must try to be our best and strive to be all we can be to accept that challenge. Because we all want to follow on the side. But now it's time to realize, more than ever, that we must do to support our efforts. So we must accept the challenge. I'm sure these are your words that demonstrate to assume this challenge and keep it on. We've got to give thanks to David as far as how to engage in So I hope you all enjoy it now. Thank you.
Honored guests, ladies and gentlemen, Parkland staff, and members of this class. It's a very pleasant task that I have this afternoon. I see the two parts. There are many people in the audience and could not be the audience in fact. That's for the final word. The effort, the educational effort that we're involved in cannot be completed in a school by teachers alone. It involves everyone who comes in contact with these students. And it involves as much as possible every part of our community. I'd like to take this opportunity to express my own thanks, the thanks of the staff, and to echo the thanks of our valedictorians to parents in general, and particularly to those groups of parents who've been involved in a more formal way with activities in the school. For example, our parent advisory groups of parents who support special programs such as athletics, theater, music, and drama. My sincere thanks to all of them. I'd like to thank also at this moment to Mrs. Ruby May Parrott, Chairman of the Board of Trustees, and Mr. Claude Campbell, the District Superintendent, to express our thanks to the Board of Trustees and also the District Administration for their support of the school and the efforts of the school and its staff through the last year. Equally, I want to thank all of those organizations in the community who have supported this group of students, and indeed all of our students, and the efforts of this staff of this school by their unselfish support to our work experience program and their very generous assistance in making presentations to classes throughout the year. I'd like to single out one special group represented today by Constable Parkland and Constable Gay of the Sidney detachment of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Their participation in the school through the year, indeed through the last number of years, has been invaluable, most constructive, most humane participation in classes and in a variety of athletic and cultural activities with students and staff. All of your efforts combine into an educational effort that ends in this. Thank you. I'd like to take this opportunity also to express my personal thanks to the staff of Parkland during the past year for their support and for their considerable commitment, their dedication, and the interest that they have shown in this group of students. Their enthusiasm, their interest, their commitment and time has gone well beyond, in many instances, what might normally be expected. This is a time of graduation of a sort also for many of our staff. Mr. Alim, who has spent his career teaching in this district, will be retiring at the end of the year. Mr. Bunyan, who has been at this school since it opened and has made a major contribution to the administration of the school as coordinator of school services for the last 6 years, the executive assistant at Stellies in September. Our intern teachers, Mrs. Greco, Ms. Lawrence, Ms. James, Ms. Moore, and Mr. Redden, also graduated. To all of these, to Mr. Alim, we wish a healthy and satisfying and lengthy retirement. To Mr. Bunyan, continued success in his career. And to our young interns starting their career in teaching, I wish you every success. I hope that all of your students will be students who love to learn, and may they be as good as this graduate. Final part of my task is indeed pleasant. Let me reflect for a moment how I have seen, and as I listen through the various speakers today, I confirmed in what I see as the major attributes in this group. Certainly, in your gowns and caps, you look almost identical. But as Sidney said, beneath all of that, there's great individual talent and great diversity. If there are two major characteristics that represent this group, I think they are a trust for citizenship and also a motivation for academic excellence. At the beginning of each of the last 3 years in a school assembly, I have put to you and to the other classes, but particularly to you, that if you wish to have a successful year as you've seen other classes have, because our resources have been continually decreasing, the challenge was to you to provide that extra piece of leadership that would make up for whatever decline there was in resources. I believe that you've done just that, and we've seen much evidence of it through today. This is a group also for whom we have made major organizational changes to school timetables so that we might respond constructively and give you increased opportunity in competing on provincial examinations and scholarships. Your response, I believe, has been a tremendous effort and a very studious approach. I hope that your efforts with your teachers through the last 3 months will pay all those dividends that you dream of. Now let me be a little more specific and elaborate slightly on some of the achievements of members of your group, and understand that while no one person may have had all of these achievements, you have been part of a unique and a very special and a quality, and you should draw confidence and strength from that. Members of your group have been among the top in Canada, and indeed the top in the province in mathematics contests. 4 of your class have already received full scholarships to universities to pursue military careers. Some of you have already received major bursaries. One of you has received a magnificent scholarship from the Grad Institute. Your members have been elected to the Forum of Canadian Youth and to Canada Youth in the World. You've distinguished yourself in music, in dance, in theater, and some of you are among the top athletes in this province. Your artwork has been exhibited in the school, in the community, at the university. Indeed, some of it's been published. Your work in the area of industrial education has been exhibited each year in the community and has received the highest praise. Your culinary skills in the cafeteria are well attested to by the well-fed, satisfied smiles of students and teachers. And Mr. Kirkpatrick, on more than one occasion, has been heard to observe that you make the best cheesecake ever. As a group, you have strongly expressed your concerns for global social issues of world peace and third world poverty. Now, lest I paint too serious a picture of this group, let me set that straight. You have also distinguished yourselves as the class that has perpetrated more creative pranks of an unoffensive and really good-natured type than any other group. You have broken new ground, for example, in creative paper stuffing and styrofoam stuffing. You have also created novel use for computers in librarianship. You have shown enormous resourcefulness and creativity and cooperation in establishing a world record for the size of strawberry bowl. And for a group that at that time was so comfortable in the spotlight of newspaper articles, TV coverage, and messages dragged around the sky by airplanes, you showed terrific cohesiveness and an ability to keep a secret among you, while planning a sleep-in at the school shortly afterwards. It was well after that event that I found a letter that was distributed to the whole class. I accidentally found one in my house. Well, it's my hope that as you leave Parkland, as you leave today, you will leave with a sense of confidence in your accomplishments, a sense of confidence in the relationships that you develop with your peers and with your teachers, and that you will go with the energy and the skills needed to face new challenges. Your high achievement and your creative, less serious activities have earned you both the respect and the endearment of the staff. This class has made a valuable contribution to the traditions of the school, and you should know that you have our best wishes for satisfying and successful lives, and know also that always you will be welcome visitors back to Parkland. Now finally, and not to be outdone by our bilingual valedictorians, that we wish you all the best in the end. Gonyari on overlap of a schlag you go there apart. And you all have a very successful life. Now, I would be remiss if I did not include in my thanks special thanks to Mr. Jeff Giles, who is coordinator and sponsor of our grad class. Through the year, he has put in a tremendous amount of work with this group, and it has all come to a climax today in this ceremony. He has been assisted by a number of staff, a committee of students, and also by very generous volunteer parents. Thank you to all. Will you please stand for the greeting? Thank you. Would you please be seated and allow the guests and staff to